Hello, I'm David.
I'm Lindsay.
And this is Desmond's Thunders.
Welcome to this part of our main meanderings, and we start by leaving the castle at Corgarff and climbing the snow road, yes, that famous Cockbridge to Tomintoul road, up the hill to the Watchers. Nearby to the castle is the art installation, the Watchers. It sits on the Lecht Road and offers spectacular views towards the castle. This installation has a close connection with Corgarff Castle and its existing standing stone, A Moment in Time, which was designed to frame telescopic views of the castle. The Watchers add some new but similar formed cowls clustered on the hillside close to the existing standing stone. These contain seating and provide hooded shelters for individuals in a wind and snow-swept environment. Each cowl is formed like an origami from folded sheets of steel. As a group, the cowls contribute to the evocative atmosphere of the site. The abstract nature of these enveloping cowls invites various interpretations as to what they might be. A henge, a herd on the hillside, armoured figures, helmets, military figures, tents, ruins, standing stones, or even whiskey stills. We move on to Blairfindy Moor. Now this park up is designed for a different visit, but we're coming here because of change of plans due to Lindsay getting her letter for a second jab. But it does give me the chance to fly Blairfindy Castle as stated in the video from our earlier main meanderings. The castle is at the top left hand corner of that group of houses we're approaching, in the centre of the screen. It's going to be a difficult one to get without overflying houses or the distillery, but let's try. Here is the Glenlivet Distillery. But more about it later. let's continue with the flying. This metal red stag was the only red deer we saw, but here's a selection of some of the wildlife that visit us this weekend at Blairfindy Moor. The remote and isolated Glenlivet Valley made it ideal for illicit distillation. This is where George Smith learned his craft. Hidden away from the customs officers and soldiers amongst the hills and abundant springs, George had time to distill slowly, making a whisky that would soon become world renowned. In August 1822, King George IV arrived in Scotland for a state visit and asked to try a drop of the infamous Glenlivet whisky. An illegal dram it was, but even then didn't stop the king. The monument that you'll see shortly at Upper Drumming marks the site of George Smith's first legal distillery in Glenlivet, and Josie's Well, whose mineral-rich waters still supplies the Glenlivet Distillery, the oldest legal distillery in Scotland. It's sobering to sit by the spring and consider that from this simple source of water, bubbling up through the ground, over 6 million bottles of whisky are produced every year. And you don't have to believe me for this tale. Sample the whisky and you'll hear all about it. We're at the Dark Sky Park at Blairfindy. I suspect there won't be much dark skies for us this trip, but it's here for a look and to try out the map. Now, if the microphone's working, apart from me, you may hear birds singing, and there has been a cuckoo calling. And there, the standard Glenlivet sign. And what's to see here? Well, apart from the dark skies, fantastic view. And it's a lot of cloud about at the moment, so I suspect there'll be no dark skies for us tonight. Not quite our view for tonight, but that is the view from slightly up the hill from the park up. I'm heading to see the memorial, and how can I not go and see a memorial to whiskey? And here we are, the memorial to the Glenlivet Whisky, the original legal distillery. We're up at the monument to the original Glenlivet Distillery. I think it might be time to go back to the van and try out their product. Any excuse. Thank you for watching Desmond's Donders. And remember, please take nothing but memories and leave nothing but tracks. Please subscribe and ring the bell for notifications, and hopefully we'll see you next time.